recording. Hello, my little fantasy nerds. Please join us for another episode of Dungeon Crawlers. So, where we left off last is the the adventurers made their way into the orc city of Mugthal. You managed to find some pieces of information and figure out that the warlock or somebody was running tests on female subjects and hiding them below his hut. He was performing experiments where the group ran into a female that was down there who they believed to be Morn's half-sister or adopted sister. She attacked. They ran, they flee, they ran into a orb of some kind that gleamed off of them and talked to them. They made their way out of the camp, escaped, where they found themselves back in the cavern. In the cavern, the group drank, came across a bottle of some kind of hallucinogenic mixture and or cocktail, where they proceeded to absolutely trip balls, hashing out their plans, trying to figure out what they or how they were going to proceed into the further, figuring out getting into the city, getting the captors out or the captives out, how they would get Morn's sister out, if she was a threat or was not a threat. They hadn't seen the warlock or anything else of the city. An encampment to the far south of them seemed to be coming closer towards the orc city over the mountains, the Evercrest Mountains. During their hallucinogenic state, that that Kaz had actually cooked dinner for one of the nights, and the entire party had a very bad dream. You guys are all waking up from that at this point, as the day is just slowly starting to begin. And that's where we'll begin this episode.
So we're all waking up from that dream.
From that one shot, yes. You guys are all kind of like coming to. Kaz, you had made dinner that night, and you ran out of water for the soup, and you were kind of rummaging for like bottles of water or something to make the soup with, and you had found one, but you weren't sure if it was beer or wine or whiskey or whatnot, and it looked okay. It was a little thick, but you cooked it in with the mixture. But you weren't really hungry, you just kind of meditated and you managed to snack and fall asleep.
Good.
So how would we be feeling waking up? Would we feel normal?
Kind of
would this
shitty.
be like...
You guys are all a little shitty. You guys got a little bit of a headache. You don't feel the greatest. You guys got a decent sleep, but you don't feel the greatest.
Aside from having the most psychedelic dream ever,
Correct.
Essentially?
Yeah.
What time is it exactly? Like, can I tell?
The sun's up. You would guess probably like 7 a.m. 6:30, 7 a.m.
Okay. I'll wait for a little while longer then.
I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna walk to...
Hello.
Hey, welcome!
Hi.
I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna walk to the entrance of the cave. Just to, like, wake up a little bit more.
Okay. The heck?
I'll message him.
There we go. No worries, he muted. Okay. So you walk towards the entrance of the cave. It's cool out. Kind of like that morning, that morning coolness to it. Almost a little frosty. It's at times, but you walk out in the sun, you can see the sun. No worries, man. You see the sun coming up in the distance.
I'm gonna stand up and walk out to Freya and be like, "Yo, so that shit we took like 2 nights ago, I'm pretty sure I fucking tripped again. That's six. Like that's just like crazy. Like, I don't know if you felt anything.
You felt that too? You had a weird dream too?
Yeah, like I was back in well, what was that? Tofted.
Yeah, it was topped it.
Yeah. That city where I had that bar fight. Yeah, I was back there, and like Kaz was like, I don't know, she was like captured or something. It was crazy. Y'all died.
We literally had the same dream.
You guys had the same dream.
Yeah.
Yeah, what?
I was in a place that I'd never seen before.
Yeah,
With
you
all
were
of
there, which was
Yeah,
very
it was-
strange.
Zariel's mansion. You guys were there?
Yeah. And
Yes.
Kaz was captured, and we were going inside, and we were led through this, or by this elf guy that, led us, or was leading us into a trap. And then
Wait,
we
but-
fought, and we
I
got
don't-
in the great room, and we fought against that, this big paladin guy that
Yeah,
was protecting Zariel.
yeah.
And those freaking gnomes, they abandoned us.
He did. We all had the same dream.
I don't remember Honor. I didn't think you had some. But you were there?
Yeah, Andre, how did
I-
you have the same dream if it was that stuff? Because you didn't have any of it.
Maybe I wasn't. Oh, it felt similar. I feel the same today.
I don't know. I never had any. All I had was the whiskey.
Should go ask Kaz. I mean, he was the one that was.
As you guys look down below you, like where the campfire is, and like where you guys had the soup that night, there is a bottle laying next to it, with the rations that were made to cook the soup.
Oh, do I recognize it?
Roll. I'm not gonna have you roll anything because you pretty much you know your liquor pretty well. It looks pretty fucking familiar.
Yeah, I'll walk up to him and just pick it up and be like,
It's got like
"Oh
it's got like this much left. It was like pretty full before because you guys had only taken like a shot or two, but it's got like a quarter of the bottle left.
I'm gonna like look at it and just start laughing, like, oh, I don't remember us taking this, but oh,
There's no way. I didn't drink any of that.
I'd have known. That smelled pretty foul when I remember you drinking it.
I'm gonna like look around to see if anyone dumped it out.
You don't see any like stains or anything on the ground from where like liquid would be sitting into the dirt.
Is
Well,
Kaylin awake?
Is Kayla?
Oh
awake?
yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm gonna walk up to Kaylin. Hey, did you have a weird dream last night?
Yes. I can only assume that jester over there mixed it into the broth of our soup.
I'm gonna go run over to Kalen and like put one arm around his shoulder and show him the bottle.
Oh no!
One of us.
Yes, only because I was forced to. Don't expect it regularly.
It was a pretty good time, wasn't it?
Yes, I quite enjoyed being burned alive in my own armor.
I think I'm with Kaylin on this one. I'm not really fancying having any of that ever again.
But that does raise one question. So you know you can never die in your dream, but pretty sure you guys died.
How would you know you didn't die?
I saw you guys die.
So, Kaylin, you're not gonna be in trouble with Shantea, are you?
Time can only tell, I assume.
Because, I mean, it wasn't your fault, right? I mean,
We'll
unless
see.
you put that
I
stuff
might
in
hear
the
something about it during one of my next sleeps.
I mean, I don't remember how this happened. Like, Possible that we were all just having fun last night and we don't remember.
Could we have gotten spiked?
That's a good point. I wouldn't have known that. Yeah.
That's my best assumption.
We're Kaz.
I'll just kind of slowly wake up. What?
Did you have a weird dream last night?
No.
You weren't captured by.
No.
You weren't brought to Zariel's mansion.
No.
I could have sworn it was you. Yeah, you were taken. We ran after you, went all the way to Toftit.
Well, if the shoe fits, I have a feeling. Kaz, did you drug us?
Are you rolling against that, Kaz, or are you letting that slide? You're gonna try and be sneaky?
I was just gonna play like I didn't remember the dream.
Okay. So from what you
You know, sometimes you have a dream and you wake up and you don't remember it.
yeah. So from what you get, he's not lying. He seems pretty forthright. Something's a little off, like you're not really sure, but she seems truthful.
All I know is
I just had dinner and slept pretty soundly through the night, as far as I know.
bummer you missed out. All I know is that when this is over, if we're going back to Thane. As much as I don't like him, I at least want to know where he got this.
Well,
It's a good time.
I've had
More
two
dramatic.
experiences. had two experiences with this stuff, and it has not been good. I'm glad you're enjoying it, though.
Yes, must not be for everyone.
Definitely not. Well, there's not any. Morn has the bottle, right?
Yep, and right in front of Morn, like where the campfire is the pot where you guys had cooked, and there's like a little bit of the stew left, or the broth.
Oh, I'm gonna go over to the stew.
Okay.
That was next to that, and look at it.
Okay, well, it looks like stew. Very
Doesn't have any odd smell to it.
I mean, it smells like, left out overnight stew.
Okay.
I'm gonna kind of raise my eyebrow just to maybe make a connection, like potentially that was the culprit. Do you think that ended up in the stew, Morn?
I mean, it's possible. I could easily see myself drinking a bunch, but the fact that Kalen had some while entertaining is surprising.
You would all know that it was Kaz's turn to cook last night. Is the only thing that you guys would kind of piece. That'd be the only thing. It was his turn to cook, or her turn to cook. Sorry.
She doesn't remember She doesn't remember being captured. She didn't have the same trip that we did.
So she was the only one that didn't eat the stew then, if that was the case. Did Kaz eat stew? Do I remember seeing Kaz eat stew?
Make a intelligence check.
Wow.
You're pretty sure Kaz had stew last night. You're pretty sure.
Guys, Kaz definitely had stew last night. Pretty sure. Why does it say I'm dead next to my name?
Good take as well.
Does it say it? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Could have taken his bowl first, and then I don't know. So if that's not it, that meant Kalen took some on his own. Oh, he's gonna be in trouble.
I just made some stew with some wine last night. Just a little flavor.
This look familiar? I'll show
Yeah,
him.
but I boiled the alcohol out of it for Kalen.
Well,
think-
clearly you didn't boil out whatever else was in there.
Howdy, Ping.
What's up?
Welcome.
Hi.
Hey, big boy.
Well, I guess you don't have to tell us what happened, Kaz, but no. If you actually did spike it, I'm proud of you.
Yeah, I just grabbed whatever bottle was in your stash there to cook with. A little bit of flavor. I'm not sure what it was.
It was this one, wasn't it? No. Show him the bottle of.
Maybe you should check the label next time.
It might have been. Yeah, the label was some language I couldn't read.
Yeah. Yeah, it's some good wine.
No, it's not. It's not good.
Well, this isn't as fun as this is. This isn't getting us.
Definition of good.
We still have a long day ahead of us. It was fun. We gotta look forward now, though.
Well, we have a lot of things to figure out still.
I was thinking, we have a bunch of allies right nearby. Like, I don't know if it's clearly an enemy of our enemy might be able to help us. And they might not be able to help us infiltrate, but more numbers, we could try and do our thing while they attack, create a diversion. Maybe they'll listen to us. We know a lot about what's inside, probably more than they do.
Yeah, if we can find them, I mean, and get in, I think it's worth talking to them.
Yeah, I mean, we know what direction they come from. We've seen their torches go away at night. I think we have some idea of where they are. They're close enough. They can get, to fighting every day. Certainly, we can get there.
It's worth a shot.
Well, that's all
Sure.
well and good, but are we sure that they're going to be welcoming to those like Faye myself?
I mean, we don't know, but they're fighting the orcs. We have a similar cause. Do you know, Ray? Do you know anyone, or Andre? Do you know anyone from
Nice.
Jupiter that fights with them?
Do I know anything about this conflict at all?
No. The only thing that you would know was the Empire was sending an army from Fort Thromgard towards Mugthal. That's all you know. It basically was just like retaliatory. The Mugthal had invaded,
Right.
and they had raided and taken over Fort Thromgard for a while until the Empire had sent forces to Fort Thromgard to retake, and now they're pushing back.
And this has nothing to do with Jupiter.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Well, as far as I'm aware, none of. I'm sorry.
Get it?
Background noise.
I'm dying.
I know nothing about whatever is going on down
Get
there.
it, Ginge?
I don't know who they are.
That's fucking fantastic.
So yeah, Andre wouldn't really know much about this other than the fact that they're pushing back. It's retaliatory in some sense, as most wars go.
I mean, there is the risk if this is the Empire, they're likely not too fond of magic users.
One thing that we have on our side is that we've been inside this city. That might be valuable to them. That we have intel, we know what the inside looks like. We can provide that feedback.
But if they've been fighting them for months, why, or at least weeks, I guess at this point.
It would be
Wow.
it'd be weeks, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what would they think that we could do that they couldn't? I mean,
Well,
if we
that's-
if we want them to like cause a diversion just for us to do something, I mean, there's not much reason for 6 random adventurers for them to think that we could do anything they couldn't unless we show them what we can do, which I don't know how they're going to take that. I mean,
We don't even know what exactly they're after beyond just fighting back the invasion.
well, also keep in mind if they've been here that long and they have not gotten very far, and we've only just barely gotten here and we've already made it inside.
Maybe we could sneak in at night and somehow get the gates open for them to do a surprise attack on the city at night.
though the Empire might not also realize that a lot of the magic users that are being killed and taken are actually going north. They might not realize that. It's kind of a weird conflict here in that the Withering Hand seems to be helping the orcs, yet also working alongside the Empire. It's kind of a headache. I don't get you guys.
Yeah, that is definitely a dilemma. We don't really know how much the Empire knows about up here.
It's too much politics for me.
It's too much politics for me, too. I don't know. It might be worth trying. I mean, we have an idea of how to get in there, but we still are pressed with the issue of how do we get all of these slaves out? There's so many.
Having the other armies help would add a lot.
And they're on 2 completely opposite sides of the city. I don't know how we're going to be able, just 6 of us, to be able to do anything about that. Especially with a city that's up and running. It's not like we're going to be able to waltz in, open the door.
There is a portal.
We don't know if it's working. And we don't know where it goes. And we don't know what's on the other side.
Fair point. I hate portals anyway.
Aye. Do we want to take a look around? Maybe, I mean, we've only seen part of the outside. Do we want to get a feeler for if there's another way in? Or do we want to try and see if we can approach the other army?
Yeah, I think Kaylin and I would appreciate a easier way in that doesn't rely on sneaking and disguising ourselves.
That'd probably be a good idea.
Well, either place we go, a couple of us are going to have to do that, probably.
I mean, ultimately, depending on our plan, yeah. Either way, we're still going to probably want to at least sneak Morn in there to see if his sister recognizes him.
If that is his sister.
If it is his sister, exactly. All the more reason to get him to her.
Aye, we are in agreement.
Mood music.
Sorry, I'm just bumping.
Oh my god, it's...
Oh, it is bumping. No, we like it. It's entertaining.
It's alright on right, man. No worries.
Hey, we're just happy you could make it.
Hey,
This will certainly help pass the time until I get home.
calling in from the club.
Okay. So, we've all had a long rest, I would imagine. Yes? Okay.
Yes. Yep.
Uh,
I'd say Yeah, Ping and Kaz are probably the only ones that woke up feeling very refreshed. Like, very refreshed. Like, it was a really good night of sleep.
But it was still a good enough rest that we got our stuff back, right?
Oh yeah, you guys got your full nights of rest. You got your full night rest. You rested. You feel rested.
Well,
you just
actually,
haven't-
technically, we didn't even use our move because we were dreaming.
Yeah, it was in a dream.
Technically, we would have already been full anyway.
No, I'm just kidding. Yes.
Your face. No.
Yes, of course.
Well, do we want to get out there and figure something out? I'm tired of being stuck in this cave with a dragon sitting behind us.
I agree. Sorry about train. Let me mute real.
Yeah, I said we try to see where they march from in the morning when they start and try to reverse engineer their path and find the camp that way.
Head out now. Probably.
Otherwise, we'd have to wait until the fighting was done for the day and retreat with them.
Yeah, I mean, we can always leave now, and if we can't find a way to their camp for some reason, at least we keep an eye on where their army's at. And they'll lead us back later in the day.
Well, I'm certainly all for getting out of here. Don't want to spend another minute more than I have to nearby this fucking dragon.
Yeah, it's high time we get out of this cave.
I'm ready when you guys are.
Let's do it.
Everybody ready? Let's just pack up and go.
Let's go.
Aye. Smooth out.
Actually, I forgot that I wanted to spend an hour every day transcribing that book. Would it be safe to say, hey, guys, can we... And while we're packing up, maybe I sit down with Kaylin for an hour and transcribe.
And you
Some
don't
more-
you don't have to have Kaylin next to you. You can write all this out onto sheets of paper and hand it to Kaylin.
Oh, very true. Okay, so then while everybody's kind of packing up camp, I'm going to sit down and take that time to take the runes and the symbols and the words that I can't understand and write them down.
So I would say you've done about two. This will be the second day that you've done it, so you roughly have about 2 pages. Actually, I would say if you're spending an hour, you could probably get like 2 pages done.
In an hour?
Yeah, so I would say you have 4 pages done at this point.
Okay.
So, while they're packing up, you're working on the next 2 pages, but you do have 2 pages right now.
Okay. Got it.
I'm gonna look around the cave and make sure that all the bottles that I had spread out all over the place, I got them all.
So it's good. Make a perception check. Ooh. Okay. You feel like you got them all.
Okay.
I'm going to take a moment as we're preparing to head out and just change appearance into an older human man.
Okay. As you guys are all standing
Just
there.
in case we get captured, I want to go to where the men went, not where the women went, right?
Hey, no, yeah, it's a very valid point. 'Cause
Yeah, I
Oh.
definitely don't blame you for not wanting to go there.
Don't
So-
want to go where the women go.
as you guys
That
are
is a big fucking yikes.
yeah. Oh yeah, and you guys haven't explained it to the party at all. So
Cass knows, 'cause Cass was there.
oh, I know. So as you guys are standing around the fire and you guys are packing things up, putting things away, you guys watch as Kaz's female form shifts, and an older male starts to form, and you can describe. I don't know exactly what you're looking or what you're wanting to look like.
Yeah, just old wizardly looking man, right? Long beard, white, probably tours with the Grateful Dead, right? Walks around with a staff. That guy.
Yes.
Gandalf looking chap.
A 14th century deadhead.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Kaz is feeling like very deadhead after the stew. She doesn't know why, but she feels like a little more in touch with everything.
Oh god.
She tripped good.
Except that she was stuck to a post
Just-
behind Zariel.
just-
the whole time.
She just woke up knowing that like we're all connected, you know?
Oh my god.
Everything is good in the world. Everything is Everything is zen.
Yeah.
Peace
Yeah.
and love,
Peace
man.
and love. Peace and love.
Rastafari.
So it takes you guys probably the better part of about an hour-ish, hour 15 minutes to get everything packed up, campsite broken down. Yeah, and you manage to get those two. It doesn't take you very long. You're used to breaking your camp down fast as a ranger, so you manage to do it quickly, and then sit down and begin to transcribe the abyssal runes onto a separate sheet of paper so that you can hand it to Kaylin whenever you hand it to Kaylin.
Alrighty.
It's probably around 8 o'clock at this point. 8:30 in the morning.
At night?
In the morning?
Oh, I thought you said at night for some reason. It's like, wait! Okay, so
8:30 anti-meridian.
8:30 a.m. Alright, if everybody's packed up, I say we get out of here.
As you guys are beginning to make your way towards the entrance of the cavern and through the doors, everybody roll perception real quick for me. I believe Andre, do it with advantage. Actually, I'll do it with advantage for you.
It still says I'm dead.
Do you know,
Alright, fix that.
my perception is a +6, I think.
+6. Oops. Why the fuck?
Oh, let me check.
Yeah, hold on. Wow, doesn't matter. I rolled absolutely horse shit for you. Freya, do you have like advantage when rolling for certain creatures?
I mean, I'm in the roll 20. I can roll.
Oh, okay, then you roll then. Sorry, I didn't know you were
Yeah.
roll. I didn't know you were in.
Did I roll? Oh no, it's first.
You
Okay.
rolled 7. Yeah, you rolled
Does
the 7.
anybody know how to remove the dead trait off of your character? Like, I can't see anywhere where I can take that off. I have full health. I don't know.
Nope, you're dead.
That's dumb.
Could it be on Beyond, D&D Beyond, not Roll 20.
Okay, 15.
I don't know D&D Beyond very well.
So,
Nope.
okay. So actually, Morn is the only one that picks it up. Just barely, just slightly. As you guys are leaving the cavern, Morn, you're actually towards the back of the the cave. You're just kind of like, everybody's skittering out, and you're like picking up the last bits, and you're looking around for your last couple of bottles because you're like, I know there's one more that was kind of a black one with a different liquid, and you start walking into the tunnel a little bit, and you lean down to pick it up, and for some reason something tells you to look up and listen. And you stand there for a second as you stare into the darkness of the cave, and you just hear just slightly.
Okay, I'll.
You don't see anything. You don't hear, and that's all you hear. And it's far, 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 far down the way, but you hear heavy, heavy, heavy footsteps, and almost like a grunt, like somebody's walking and they woke up too early and they didn't want to be woken up.
I'm gonna all of a sudden just start, like, kind of corralling everyone to the door and just be like, I think we need to go. I hear something.
Okay.
Now that he points it out, do I hear it too?
I don't know if he's pointed it out. He just said,
Well,
I
he's
think I hear
behaving
something.
strangely.
Are you actively trying to listen?
Yes.
Okay. You stop and you focus for a little while. You don't hear anything right now. But something in the back of your head tells you what you think he might have heard, and that puts you on edge a little bit more.
Well, you don't need to tell me to get going twice. And I'm beating feet, man.
Let's make sure there's nothing waiting outside the cave, and let's go.
Yeah, probably peek out very carefully. Make sure there's like isn't any rider, scout, whatever, just outside.
Roll perception. Nice. So you step, and you're just peeking out and looking at the plateau in front of you, correct?
Yeah, just
Okay,
looking out there.
You don't see anything. Nothing up in this. I mean, you see spots in the far distance, kind of moving in the opposite direction, like really far south of you. But in your direct peripheral, in front of you and around, you don't see anything. It looks coast clear.
All right, let's go.
And then I would say, as you step out and you like walk out to the plateau with that perception check, what you notice, the first thing you noticed is, one, the Orc City is like running rampant. There's torches everywhere. The city, like the gates are closed up. You look at all the small towns that are around the city, and they seem to be empty as people are making their way towards the main city. In the far distance, the far south, you do notice that the two armies are marching at each other right now. And they're probably like 6 or 7 miles away from the main city.
On the opposite side?
On the opposite side, so like far off in like that direction. So like if you were looking at the map here. So you guys are kind of like up here on this ledge. It is roughly down in here. And they're about right in here.
Okay. Well, it looks like they're going to war. Do we want a chance approaching them now? Or maybe by the time we get up there, it'll be a good break?
I don't think we approach the army. I say we approach the camp. That way we can avoid getting us. We can stay as far away from the Orc camp.
Stay close to the mountains.
Yeah.
Hope we can find it. And that we're not shot on sight.
Yeah.
Alright. So I'm gonna start heading down the walkway. But before I do, I'm gonna look around in the sky Do I see anything?
No. Nope. The what you had seen before is in that far off distance towards where the war has actually happened. You can actually see many dots in the sky above the actual like armies getting ready to clash. So you assume there's some kind of riders for the Empire side, and then there's riders for the Orc side, and they are beginning their assault on each other.
Okay, I'm gonna start heading down the mountainside then.
Okay.
But as I do, I'm gonna hand Kalen one of the pages that I transcribed from before and ask him if he can read it.
I'll attempt to.
You are able to read it. It is Abyssal.
My handwriting okay? It's not a language I'm familiar with.
If I can read it, that's all that matters.
It's a little shoddy, but it's not bad for somebody that's just transcribing something they can't read. It's pretty dead on.
Not going to be one to judge since I come from a backwater village myself.
Does it say anything important, or is it just more spells?
I'll scan it for any important information, not like intensively reading it, but for any keywords that might stick out since we don't have a lot of time right now.
Okay, so how long are you spending to scan it?
It's just one. I'm just giving him one page to look over.
Mm-hmm.
We'll say... I guess I could read it as we're walking. Yeah, I might as well just read it anyway. I'll just intensively read it then.
I can walk beside him and kind of guide him a little bit as we're walking too. Because I'm super curious. I feel it's important that we try to get information from this book.
Okay. So, we'll get back to that as you guys walk and read.
Alrighty.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you make your way down. You guys start to make your way down the path, kind of in this general area. And you guys begin to skirt along the outside of the villages on the far, on the far mountainside, kind of like where the little towns and villages are around the city, like so. And you guys are right up almost against the Evercrest Mountains as you guys make your way around and skirt your way around. So I would say probably about an hour or two into the walk, you would have fully read through that page that she gave you. Basically, the page that she did you just pick like a random page, or did you start it from the very first page?
I started from the beginning, hoping that the maybe lore or something would be first.
Okay.
So I wanted to start from the beginning.
Okay. So the book, the very first page, is almost like the lore of the book and the Undying One. It talks of his never-ending power. It talks of the book being, this book being the use of as a, what's the word I'm looking for? A phylactery, sort of like a storage for souls, and yes, thank you, like a storage of for souls and for power to basically ascend and become more. This it talks of the third Undying One, how this is the how there have been these three, and it names all of them. The first one you're unable to pronounce or read the name. It's in Abyssal, but the name is also in some other language that you're unable to understand. The second name is Vergsvel. It's like Vergyill. And then the third name, wow, do I have it written down here somewhere? Is CV. I'm trying to pronounce it here. Seville. CVYILL. And those are the 3 names you're able to read out. Almost like this has happened 3 times. So you're assuming the last person that owned this book was this Civil. It talks of basically the use of souls to gain power and ascend to become more than the flesh of the body. And then that's basically that first page that you read.
Right. All right.
So you said it takes about an hour to read through one page?
Roughly-ish, yeah.
Okay. Do you want another page, Kaylin, or do you want to take a break?
I could read another one if you would like me to.
I'll give him another page.
Okay, you begin to read the second page as you guys make your way along the mountains and you guys continue to walk. As you guys start to walk, you guys do begin to pick up the sounds of war. You hear almost every like minute or two that goes by, you hear kind of like a loud crack, almost like thunder. And then like 3 or 4 more after that, and then a couple more after that, and then it gets quiet for a little while, and then like a couple minutes later you hear another like couple cracks, almost like thunder.
We must be getting close.
Kaboom.
So we can hear the battle nearby. But
You can hear the battle in the distance, roughly.
from what I recall, you said from our vantage point we were not able to see the camp, right?
No, not really. And you were just barely able to make out these almost like tiny ants walking towards each other.
Yeesh, it's a long way.
You guys just continue to walk.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. About another hour or 2 goes by, and you're able to decipher the second page. The second page breaks down basically the history of the book and how it was made. It was made by skinning a sky giant. Basically, the killing and the lives, not killing, but the basically the torturing and the skinning of a live giant while using magical means to like bind the book to make the skin almost form like a protective layer of the book, making it almost impenetrable, and giving it the means to store souls and act as this phylactery that it talks about, or this sort of like power stone of some sort. It then breaks down and talks of the 3 cities that were used to create, like to mass store souls. One of them being Thurnsjörg, the Dwarven city that you guys had actually gone through, and all of the zombies had been made. It talks of how Seville descended into the city and over the had used his powers to disguise himself as one of the citizens, and over the course of several years transcribed magical runes throughout the city on the floor to basically make the entire city a like a sacrificial pit of some sort. And how like the ingredients that he used, the time that was spent, the pretty much everything that he needed to do to make this city basically a sacrificial pit. Yeah, he played the long game.
Wow.
Very well.
Anything important?
Lots of dastardly deeds, I can assure you. Makes my skin crawl just scanning the pages.
Anything about how to undo what the book has done or get the souls out or anything yet?
Nothing yet.
Okay.
So far, most of what I've gotten seems to be a history lesson.
I'm glad I started in the beginning then. Hopefully we'll get more information about the book that way.
I hope so as well.
I'm gonna hold off on the rest of the pages for now. Give a break.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Just the fact that it's made out of skin is heebie-jeebie central.
And is anybody holding the book, or you just have it sitting in a bag right now?
It's in my pack.
Okay. Okay. Another couple hours goes by as you guys walk along the mountain's edge, and you hear the sounds of war getting louder and louder and louder and louder. You feel like you're getting relatively close as you guys make your way around. You guys have lost sight of Mugthal and the smaller towns around it.
What time would it be now?
I would say roughly it would be just about noon.
Okay.
About midday, roughly.
We're probably going to want to be careful as we get closer. We don't want to be spotted by probably either humans or orcs.
And I haven't asked, but I'm assuming Henri and Freya, are you guys hoods up and all that good stuff?
Oh yeah, it's
I was
been
just about
hoods
to
up.
say.
It's
Okay.
been hoods up since we got to
Okay.
where we are the mountains.
Make a perception check. Henri. Yeah, I assumed, but I figured I would ask.
Yeah, sorry for not saying.
No, that's fine. 23, okay. There is, against the mountain base, there is, there's trees and large boulders and rocks and almost like little crevices to walk around. And then it kind of goes, it's not like a 90-degree angle up the mountain slope, it's kind of like a gradual, and then there's trees and boulders and brush along the edge of this mountains that kind of leads up into this this larger plain, or whatever you want to call it, this like rocky terrain. Yeah. As Kalen is, yeah, it's kind of a lightly dusted tundra. Yes.
Yeah.
But but nobody said stealth, so I was just assuming you guys were basically walking along next to it. You guys are taking the easiest path.
Yes, and now that we've gotten close to the battle, that's when I indicated that it's probably a good idea that we be careful at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So we might want to do we have an idea of how far away from the battle?
What's everybody's passive perception again?
16.
15.
17.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll just take.
So actually, 16, 17. Okay, Kalen, you were the only one to pick this up. as you guys are walking along, and just barely, I rolled a 17. As you guys are walking along the edge of this mountainside in this tundra, you guys are just kind of walking in tow, and you're reading, but out of the corner of your eyes, you see like a rock or like a pebble, like like the size of your fist, just like all of a sudden just clack 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 clack, clack, and just like roll through the snow a little bit and kind of settle. About
Hmm.
2 to 300 feet away, roughly up the mountainside.
Is it now like is it still like noon, or is it now like 1 p.m. ish?
It's like one-ish. It's like one-ish.
Okay. Since it's like 1 then. Not that.
Oh, beacon of hope.
No. I'll cast Animate Dead to reassert my control over my minion for another 24 hours.
Okay.
So I have to reset.
As the minion begins to slowly crumble and fade and kind of like slunch down, you just kind of reach over, put a hand on its shoulder, and it just stands up straight again and continues to walk.
Yeah, and I'll tell him, keep an eye out for that rock itching me the wrong way.
Since we're getting closer, do you think we should be more stealthy now? Do we have an idea of how far away the battle is from us at this point?
You see that, Kaylin?
Yeah, he's typing. Ginge.
Yeah, I see him. You're not really sure how far away it is. It sounds like you're getting closer. So, unsure.
I'm gonna go ahead and just do cast without a trace then, since I feel like we're getting close. It only lasts for an hour though, so hopefully that's long enough.
Hopefully we don't really need much stealth.
Nice. Ooh. Ooh. 16, 18, 31. Nice.
Ping hasn't rolled yet.
Shit, I'm my bad. What am I rolling?
Stealth.
It's okay, you still
Ooh.
got a 17. You got a nat 1 and a nat 20 in the same roll.
Ooh.
Leave it
Well,
to me.
technically it's 17, but it's a nat 1. But
Yeah, but it's 17.
Mm.
Yeah, but it's
Anyways.
17. It
Crit
doesn't
misses
matter.
don't matter in this.
Doesn't matter, it's 17.
You guys continue to make your way along the mountain's edge, this time now getting closer to the mountain's edge and actually trying to blend in more with the snow and the trees and leaving Arctic camo mode. As you guys kind of hunch down and begin to like come around the mountain's edge, you guys are actually probably right around in the U of this bend right now as the sounds of war begin to get really loud.
I'll keep walking.
Okay. Morn, Freya, Kaylin, Ray, and Ping, you guys all to your right up the mountainside actually manage to see 2 or 3 figures hunched down in the snow, slowly moving with you guys as you guys are moving along the mountain's edge.
We all see it?
Those people that I named off. Which would be everybody except for Kaz.
So you said 2 figures hunched?
Right now, 2 figures from what you can see. About
Who-
250 to 300 feet off in the distance up the mountainside.
Who am I standing near? I'm in the back. Near Kalen, probably.
Probably.
Like, you
From
notice
what-
them?
From what you can tell, Henri, they move to a larger rock or tree and sit there for a while until you guys are kind of like past, and then they seem to move up to another tree and then another rock or whatever, and they're keeping pace with you, but they're jumping. You know what I mean? They're keeping pace, but they're trying to stay hidden.
So much
turn
for
to-
Arctic camo mode.
I'll turn to Kalen and just be like, we're being followed.
Yes.
Take a shot.
As of right now, no.
We might want to talk to them. They might be able to help us get to the camp. And we
Shoot
don't.
Ask questions later.
They're probably not enemies.
We hope not.
I say we talk to them.
Might be a pair of surveyors from the human camp coming to see who we are.
If they are.
Straight
If-
ahead, about another 350 feet, it comes to 2 trees, kind of almost like a path, and then there's like a rocky edge that goes up. You see 2 heads kind of poke up above the top of the rock, and then go back down.
Better to approach them before we're fully surrounded by too many.
2 additional, aside from the ones that we
2 additional
Tracking it?
plus 2 to your right. And then there's 1 far behind you guys that you're picking up. So 5 in total.
Oh, should I just? What do you guys think? Should I just shout out like, "Hey, what's up?"
We could
Wanna
put our
talk?
we could put our weapons down.
Have-
I mean, I think if they're from the camp, I mean, they should be allies. If they're not, better to fight them here than camp.
Yeah, if they're not, better to fight them here than somewhere where there's more of them.
Clench the front of my cloak a little bit up towards my head, make sure it doesn't like, fly off or anything like that.
Okay.
Just
I'll slowly set my war axe on the ground and then stop moving and kind of start looking around.
Okay. So Morn has stopped and set his great axe on the ground.
stop too and look
Yeah,
Like,
I'll stop, but
visibly
I won't.
look at the ones that were kind of following us.
Yeah, I'll stop, but I won't drop my mace just yet.
Okay. The figures have stopped moving. They're all sitting where they kind of moved to last.
Are they in shouting range?
Pretty close. I mean, if you were to really like let loose, yeah, they probably hear you.
I'm gonna hoo like an owl. Hoo! Hoo hoo!
And I'll follow that with yelling, "We don't mean any harm."
Okay.
And I'll yell as loud as I
Make a persuasion check with disadvantage.
can.
Nice. Ooh. 2 figures to your right step out next to the trees with longbows pointed at you. The 2 in front of you pop up above the rock with longbows pointed at you, and the one behind you kind of comes out from behind a large rock as well. They're all wearing white cloaks with a white mask across their face as they stand and then just stare at you with their bows pointed at you. And you hear far in front of you, you hear, put down your weapons and step forward. as the figures kind of start to slowly move towards you.
Do what they say.
They sound like humans.
Sound humanoid.
They definitely don't sound like orcs. Actually, would I know that? That they don't sound like orcs.
You're not sure.
I'm gonna hesitate, but very slowly.
Yeah, I'll throw my mace and my shield on the ground.
They all slowly make their way closer to you. The one in the very far front steps forward and has his hand up and just kind of like does a couple finger signs. You're not really sure what. Pulls his mask down. What are you doing out here?
I think we're looking for you guys.
Why
Fighting the
would
orcs. Mugdal?
Yes, we are. There's a war raging. What are you doing this far from the Empire? North of the Evercrest Mountains.
Same as you. Fighting the orcs.
Interesting. You look like a ragtag bunch.
Could put it that way.
And he kind of like glances over your shoulder and looks at like the rest of the party, the cleric with an undead person standing next to him, two people with their heads kind of tilted down, cloaks pulled up over the face, and an elderly gentleman just staring back at them, just and Ping leaning against his staff, just kind of like sitting in the background.
That wasn't Ping.
I really hope King's doing the standing animation from Divinity where he's just spinning his staff up in the air like with his hands.
He is.
Just rotating it.
Yeah, he's just swirling it.
Just getting... Interesting. Yes. So... I'm Ranger Bran. We've been following you for the last 3 miles or so. You don't look like you mean any harm. What is your business here? What do you wish to accomplish this far north?
Well, in the immediate future, we're looking for just some protection and a place to stay. But our goal of being up here is, well, the orcs have something that we want.
They have something we want too. People, citizens.
Exactly.
So,
They have plenty of my friends. Well, we're hoping we get them back. We were hoping that we could actually talk to someone in charge of your army. We might have information that could be helpful.
interesting.
We saw the orcs kidnap many people. We followed them all the way across the Empire here, essentially, and we're working to free those people, and we think we can do that with your help. We've been inside the city. We have a good layout of it. We know what's what there, but we're too outnumbered to really save all the people in there without some help.
And what you wish is to talk to the High Commander and see if he can't help you? Is that your wish?
To see if we can't help each other.
Make a persuasion roll.
Kaz.
Oh,
That's perception.
they both start with P's.
Or
Actually, persuasion will be much better. Yeah, well, it'll be a little better. So
He kind of eyes you over and squints his eyes and looks kind of like back at the group again, and kind of leans in and says something to the man next to him under his breath. I don't know if I can entirely trust you, but you can follow us, pick up your weapons. Do not raise them against us. It'll be the last thing that you do. We will go see his high commander, and he can make the decision whether or not we ship you back to the Empire in chains, or if we take your information. Do follow. And he pulls the mask kind of back up over his mouth and turns around and begins to walk in the opposite direction.
I'll pick up my bow and follow.
Hmm.
We lose somebody? Oh, just rhythm. No?
I think it was Henri.
Oh. Takes you the better part of another 2 hours or so. Until you make your way, you kind of go up over the mountains and like down like another side, and a lot of trekking until you make your way to a semi-fortified, a semi-fortified almost encampment with these large spikes sticking out in all directions. As you walk towards the front of this entrance, you see these guards kind of walk up, face masks down. Halt, who goes there? It's me. Just bringing some rather weird individuals passing through the area that we found out and about. They wish to talk to the High Commander. Well, High Commander Thurn is incredibly pissed off right now. He's not happy. Interesting call sign, me.
He said, "It's me."
Oh.
Responded.
As they make your way into the camp, you slowly walk forward as they the two guards stand off to the side as they watch you enter in one by one. Okay. They eye the two hooded figures a little closer, and they kind of they try to get a peek, but you guys just kind of hang your heads as low as you can and walk in without making too much of a disturbance.
Oh.
They lead you towards a large tent, with several guards posted around the inside, and you just hear yelling and screaming, and about 5 seconds goes by, and you hear you see a flask get chucked through the front of the entrance of this tent. Well, he's rather happy today. I don't envy you guys, so I'll let him know that he's got guests, and best of luck. He walks towards the front. I found this motley crew just north of the Devil's Ridge. They wish to talk to Thurn, his High Commander. What kind of mood is he in today? Well, considering that we just lost half the regiment on the south side to the Wyvern Riders, the the Dragoon Battalion, they are making good headway into the Orc army. They don't know what's coming with the new firearms that are being shot out at them. So, I guess you can say he's kind of in a mixed mood right now. But I believe he's having a war council. So I'd give it about 10 minutes. Yes, I see. Well, we'll just kind of wait here silently then, I guess. I'll make my way. When they're done, just show them in. About 15 or 20 minutes goes by, and you see about 4 people, heavily armored, more like axes and whatnot. And for those of you that lived in the Empire close to Skarnsvald, you recognize some of the noble sash and colors of some of the nobles that wear their armies, like the higher up ranking of the armies. And you guys are led into this tent. As you guys are led in, you notice a gentleman, bald on top, very grayed, very weathered, but very bulky man, almost as big as Morn. Little shorter, but he's a little more stout in the shoulders. Heavily armored, plate armor, gold plate armor. Bald with a giant beard that's tied into one knot that hangs, and you just see him looming over an entire table in front of you. That is the city of Munkthal and the surrounding areas, kind of like sketched or almost like somebody took a piece of wood and like took the time to carve out the entire landscape. And you can see him moving certain pieces around this board in front of him towards and around the cities and the Wyvern Riders. You can see he's got them up on sticks and he's kind of moved them in certain directions.
Looking at basically his model, can we see or tell that, there's potentially some details missing inside the city? Maybe he's just got something representing the city but doesn't really have a whole lot of detail of what the inside looks like.
Make a perception check.
Yeah, I'd like to do that as well, just to see if he has labeled the things that we've seen.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yep, make a perception check. You're not able to make out that much.
I don't know that I've ever passed a perception check in the whole campaign. I don't know that it's ever happened for me.
I don't think so.
We don't have a crit roll stats, so I have no idea.
I wish I had the data, because I bet it's 0.
The old man can't see very well.
Yeah.
Eyes are kind of.
Freya, before he's able to throw a cloth over the table, you do notice the city is actually it's got like 3 layers where he's able to pick up and add certain things to add layers to the city, and he does have a couple of things labeled, but you notice that like 4 of them are labeled incorrectly, like in the placement of them in the city, before he throws the cloak over the table as he notices you guys walking in. Kaz, all you're able to make out is you quickly get around the corner, and as you try to peek over Freya's shoulders, all you see is him throwing the cloak up over the top of the table.
Gonna just, as we go in, change my eyes to look like I have cataracts.
Make a
Just while we're waiting to go into the tent,
yeah, I mean,
I'm old.
so make
I want to really drive home that I'm super old.
oh man, so make, it's not really a sleight of, well, it might be kind of a sleight of hand. So yeah, make a sleight of hand.
Indeed.
Because you're not doing technically magic, but you're doing something in front of the guards that you guys are just standing outside. Okay, so you manage to, as you're waiting to enter, you kind of like tilt your head down just a little bit, and like cataract over your eyes, or give them that milky white, and like look back up, and you see the guards are kind of taken aback for a moment, like they're like, I'm pretty sure you had like blue eyes before, but they don't say anything, and they kind of give you that look. And then they just go back to like staring off into the distance.
Probably for the better, since Kaz.
Huh?
Said probably for the better, because lately Kaz can't see much.
Mm-hmm. So you guys enter, and you notice all of that. And as you walk forward, this gentleman, this like bulky gentleman, looks down at you and, can I help you? What are you doing in my city, or in my tent? Speak.
Good voice, Ginge.
What?
I said good.
I'm having to poke myself in my esophagus. It's not easy. It hurts.
It sounds very weathered.
I think we can be of help to each other. You guys are fighting the orcs. We're fighting the orcs. We have information that'll help you guys, and I think there's ways you can help us too.
We're an army. Of course we can help you. How can you help me? What kind of information do you have that I don't already have?
Well, a couple nights ago, we were in the city,
You kind of see him like
mapping it,
take a
taking
step back,
inventory.
and he like folds his hands like across his chest and like looks you guys over like intently at this point. Really? So I'm to assume, according to my spies, that you guys were the ones that caused the ruckus in the city.
Yeah, that was us.
Huh. Well, what information do you have that I may not have?
Do you promise that if we tell you, you'll help us?
That's the funny thing. You're in my tent. In my middle of my war. You'll give me the information, and then we'll talk. If it's useful.
I'm gonna hesitate because I really don't want to talk and draw attention to myself, but I'm gonna very quietly be like, "Well, I noticed your model of the city was missing some pieces and some items you had misplaced. So we could potentially assist in better putting that model together."
So, you managed to get a little bit of a look at my table. So he grabs the cloak and pulls it back a little bit, just exposing just the city. Show me. What do I have incorrect?
I'm gonna look at Kaz, hoping that Kaz will kind of get the. If I can roll something like Kaz will get the signal, like, "Can you do it?" So I don't have to get close.
Yeah, I'll step closer to the map and look at it, and I'll kind of I want to point out all the things that we've kind of mapped, and then I'll also just tell him I think reciprocity is in human nature, so we're happy to help, and we're happy to help in good faith, and we want you to know we're not your enemy.
Make a persuasion check. There we go.
There you go, Kaz.
You kind of see him like smile and grin a little bit, and like step forward, and he gets close and like stares at your cataracts, and he kind of like you can see him kind of judging it to see if they're reacting, if they're real, if they're fake, if you can see, and he's kind of playing out the situation.
Cataracts.
Yeah. After an awkward like 20 seconds of staring, where he just gets really close, you kind of see him take a step back, and he grabs the knot of his beard, and just kind of. So tell me, what am I missing? What is so important within that city that I have not seen? We will be there before nightfall, if I have it my way.
Where all the slaves are being held. They're being held in 2 different places.
I have that information. And he leans in and kind of points to the left side. Okay, here, I'll make this easier on me. Boop, boop. He leans in and he points pretty much in the same general spot that the male slaves were that you did find. And then he proceeds to point out obviously the main cathedral, or the main fortress, and the city gates.
So you're not aware of where the women slaves are being held?
What do you mean the women being held? I know
Well,
all the slaves are being kept on the west side of the building in several different cages into a secondary building that seems to to house about 80 to 90 of them right now.
Being that
No.
I've
Only men inside.
personally been inside, I can tell you that there's only men in there, and having personally been inside, I can tell you that the women are not being held in the same location.
Where are they being held?
The other side of the city. Complete
Interesting.
opposite.
Why are they being held separately from the males?
For the
Unfortunately, we weren't around long enough to ask questions of their torturers, but it appears that they were conducting some kind of experiment or doing something diabolical down there.
They were being used for breeding like cattle.
He said they're being used for what looked like breeding and maybe experiments.
You see his face go from this kind of like battle-hardened man to almost somber and sad and pissed, all in the same like feeling, like emotional reel. And you can just see him like look down at his the carve out of the city, and he is just really like looking at the overlay of the city. You can just tell his brain is just working in overdrive right now.
Why do we want to get inside? We want to get all of them out of there, especially knowing.
How did you manage to enter the city? Tell me that. My spies were able to enter on the northeast side of the building through the stream that enters in.
Let's say that we found out that the orcs really do poo in the loo.
Interesting. So you're telling me that you managed to go in through their shitter?
Hey, why would they expect anyone?
Oh, you're listening to Logic.
Yeah.
Sigh and be like, guys, there was a stream in this whole time.
Well, I guess I can say you're ballsy. If that's one way that you entered the building, you went through the fucking shitter, you got my respect a little bit. That's not a fun way to enter.
We were
So-
desperate to get inside.
You don't know the half of it.
So tell me this. What kind of draw do you have to this city other than captives and rescuing people that you don't know, just citizens of the Empire? And you enter in to a full-sized orc city without an army, without any enforcements, and you go in there thinking you're gonna rescue a couple hundred people? What's in it for you?
It's not people we don't know.
Do we need another reason? There's people that we don't care about in there.
Most people have a reason. Most people aren't do-gooders or heroes. They have a reason. They have a ransom. They have a bounty. There's something that they want.
We're different then. Family in there.
They have my sister.
Interesting. Interesting. Huh. Well,
Most people aren't do-gooders, but some people are. Although if you're offering a bounty, we'll take it.
I do have a bounty.
We all have to eat.
Well, if you've been in that city once before, I'm not gonna help you get in again. But we plan on going right through those front fucking gates. So I'll say this. And he pulls the cloak back a little bit more. And he shows you a little bit of the army formation and a little bit more of the city. And he proceeds to kind of lay out how they plan to come towards the city. And he leans in and he shows you that they're going to approach towards the front gates. That their Griffin riders are going to come over the front gates, and they're actually going to try and land on the other side to open the gate. Whether or not that plan will work, he's not sure. But he has people on the inside that he's hoping will be able to open up the gates before that. And then I heard there's one large orc in there. Supposedly the leader of the whole group. And somebody that stands next to him is kind of his his informant. If you bring me the head of the one in charge, I'll give you 500 platinum. If you bring him, or 500 platinum if you bring him to me alive. 200 platinum dead.
I'll bring you his fucking head.
I like the way that sounds. Well, at the current rate that we're going, it's probably about 4 o'clock in the afternoon at this point. We plan to make camp about 2 miles from the city. Tomorrow, we make the final assault. We push towards the city, and we go in, and we do what we came here to do and end whatever the fuck is on the other side of those walls.
So if you get in, when you get in, you plan on liberating the slaves as well?
Liberating slaves and slaughtering every motherfucking one of them.
Perfect.
Any fucking magic keeper, any magic user, anybody with little monster blood in them, yeah, I'm gonna sever their head from their body.
I have a little chill go down my spine when he says that.
Can't fucking trust him. Met a half elf once. Tried to pickpocket me, cut off her head.
Yeah, so did I. And he pulls kind of like his shirt down a little bit, and he has a scar that runs down the side. Yeah, that one tried to take my head too. So I gouged her eyes out and left her on the ground. That's all they're really good for.
Magic is too good for most people. Only the gods know how to choose correctly.
Gods have nothing to do with it.
That and the Council of Six. They always have seemed to be looking out for the best interests of us common folk. I do agree
Indeed.
with you. Yes. Yeah. Well, I can't give you free reign of the war camp, but I'll have you safely escorted out. I'll tell the rangers to leave you alone. You guys have a day. I plan on being in there tomorrow by lunch. And I plan on having my lunch in the center of that fucking city. So, good luck to you.
Thank you. Good luck to you as well.
You'll need it.
So will you.
I don't need luck. And he pulls out a giant two-handed, like, sword out of the back that... It's just ungodly large. And he smiles as he, like, holds it with one arm, and, like, all the, like, veins and everything in his arm are just bulging, like, all the way from his wrist all the way down. Like, everything is just standing out. For an old man, he looks like he's seen some shit.
I'm looking forward to seeing you fight.
It's been a while, but it's fun. Now get out of my tent. I gotta eat. And I wanna fucking take a nap. And he kinda like shoos you guys out the door.
Out of character, I love that character, by the way.
What?
I gotta eat and take a nap. Get out.
That really fucked up my throat.
Yeah. Please.
Alright, back to it. So they lead you out of the tent. There are two guards to your left and to your right. And they kind of lead you out, and you can't hear him give a couple commands. Yeah, you're not wrong. And that one's not as bad as the boat captain that I tried to
Yeah.
That fucking was hard. The deep
That dude.
Louisiana. Yeah, that was not fun. The one that I actually, yeah, the
back
back
seat,
seat.
yeah.
The one that I was trying to talk to Kaylin, and after a while, I just gave up and I started talking to Kaylin in a regular voice because I was like, yeah, my voice hurts.
Yeah, you actually
Argan.
did it in session too. I remember that.
Yep, I did it for like 20 minutes, and I just like couldn't talk after that.
Is that that was Captain Angle, right?
Angle, yeah.
Yep,
Captain
that was
Angle.
Yeah, Captain Angle. He talked like I can't even do it anymore.
Not after hearing that voice.
No.
Your throat shot.
They lead you out of the tent, and you hear him give a couple orders on the way out, and the two guards actually lead you to the same entrance that you guys came in with the Rangers, and you guys are just given your own free will. The guards kind of, you know, the captains let you go free, so be be careful out there, and if you hopefully we see you on the field of battle, and you know that you guys are still alive. So good luck.
Thanks.
And he kind of
I'm gonna
he leans in for a second. No.
I was saying, I'm gonna walk hastily.
Yeah, he
I'm gonna
kind of
walk
leans in. He goes, "Do I know you from somewhere?
No.
Like, have you ever been to Tophet?"
No. What is Tophet? I'm just keep walking.
And
I'm talking, not trying to look at him as I'm walking by.
He looks at Ping. Somebody looked exactly like you from Tophet, but he didn't have any hair. Have a good day.
What?
Probably recognized you from running through the middle of the city. Out of character. Probably recognized Ping running through the middle of the city with hands. That's probably where.
Oh.
But you have hair now, because you've been letting it go with a little bit of the beard, right? Like you got like a afternoon look going on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't forget everything. Okay.
So I'm walking hastily away.
Well, at this point, because I think you've been letting it go for a while, you've probably got like a medium-ish looking beard.
Yeah.
And you've probably got like probably like half of what Kaylin's picture looks like. You've got like a shag going on. Like it's not like super long, but I would say it's like shorter-ish. But you've got hair now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a little beard, like a little medium small beard.
I imagine Ping has like a beard like tied up in a ponytail. That's what I'm imagining beard looks like.
His beard or his hair?
His beard.
Oh, like a little
Tied in the
tiny-
beard.
Yeah.
Up to Ping. He's probably got like just enough to put like a tiny little one. He's got like just enough to do like a little just like a little baby pony.
And then have like a little poof on the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
You bet your ass they like beards. Yeah. It's the only reason I got my lady. Anyways, you guys are led out of the war encampment. In front of you guys can hear the sounds of battle. Oh, another thing to notice, you guys would have all kind of seen that. Not all of the guards. Most of the guards are wearing kind of like a gold and silver armor. And there's a couple of them that are gold, and then they have black trim. And the ones with gold and black trim are carrying kind of a foreign weapon to all of you guys, but a tube that sits on a kind of like a wooden mount with almost like a hammer lock on the back, like a circular little hammer to it, and they have it strung over their backs.
Foreign to us.
Foreign to all of you. Yep, none of you guys have seen it before.
Okay. Yeah, as I said, I was walking hastily away.
Strange rods.
Especially after hearing that the big man in charge wants to slaughter magic users. Or, you know, people with quote-unquote monster blood in them. And apparently wants to cut off heads of individuals.
Possibly.
Yeah. He's got a taste for half elves, apparently. Gotta cut their heads off.
You have a feeling he probably doesn't like them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or elves of that nature, period. You don't know. He doesn't know if they were half elf or elven.
True,
Period.
Elven, yeah.
You know, they look the same to him, as far as you're probably concerned. But you're led outside of the city, and, you're probably... What, do the bang bang? Is that what you mean, Andre?
To the bang bang?
I mean, Andre, I'm not playing that character, not in this campaign, sorry. No, not gonna happen.
We're gonna need you to build an NPC that Andre can bang bang.
I mean, she's married, so...
Well, we're
She
gonna need
has-
you to act that scene out. No, no, not gonna do it.
No. I'll kill your characters before I do that. Anyways, you guys are lit outside of the war encampment. You guys are far enough away now you can't even see the war encampment.
I'm gonna sigh and look at the party and be like, oh boy, we're probably not gonna wanna run into them with our hoods down.
Or just at all.
Yeah, probably not at all.
Kind of a dick.
I would certainly like to avoid that.
Yeah. I'm not interested in becoming a trophy head on display.
My ears won't be adorning any necklaces anytime soon.
I'm fond of my neck.
Now, we should probably talk about what we're going to do. When they come in the front gates, are we going to sneak in the back?
Or we let them push. He's doing a lot of rolling and I don't like it.
Oh, I'm just doing it for shits and giggles.
God, knock it off. I'm like sitting here like, why is he still rolling? What are you doing? Well, we could technically, they push through and then we push in behind. Or they push through in the front and that's creating a distraction and we come in behind. I don't know if you guys prefer the front or behind, but...
I prefer behind.
Yes.
That's just me.
Guess the first question is, do we think they have a shot to win? I mean, they've been fighting this for a while, and
Yeah, why is tomorrow any different than their last several weeks? But we do know whether or not they're successful. We do know that they're going to be mounting an attack tomorrow at the front. So, if anything, we could use that as an opportunity of distraction.
Yes, Andre. They've advanced fast. You're assuming because this orc army has not seen the new weapons that they are unveiling on them, and it is causing some kind of chaos.
I say I almost think sneaking in around the backside at
Yeah.
the same time they attack. That way, regardless of how their fight goes, we can at least do what we need to do.
I think that's
Yeah, I think that's the way to go. And as they're fighting in the front and presumably freeing some of the slaves, I think we need to go into the warlock's tent
Jesus.
and try to meet up with Morton's sister like we had planned before.
I would just worry that they might come out if there's a war going on. I don't know. And then trying to get more into his sister might be more difficult. I don't know.
Well, I
Not
think
sure
we need to have priorities going in, right? I think is our main priority to get to Morton's sister. Is our number one priority to free as many slaves as we can.
We're not going to be able to
Um,
just free the slaves. We're
I
not just
think
going to be able to go in and free all of them while the war's going on. That's going to have to that might have to wait a little bit. But
I
I'm
think
worried.
all the male slaves. I think that's up to the human army at this point. If they're
Yeah,
getting out, it's because the orcs are dead. That being said, the humans are in no shape to deal with the warlock.
correct, and
I think
that's why I was
that's-
saying the warlock might come out, and then if whether or not she's Morn's sister is joining him, you know, I would worry that we would be trying to bring Morn in at a bad time. It might be better to do that before there's too much chaos going on.
As much as I want to save my sister, the lives of everyone in there depend on the warlock being defeated.
Point of clarity. Just a reminder for Morn. Your sister is half elf.
Correct.
Yeah. Might want to get her out of there before big old war chief dude on our side finds her.
No, it's a good point. Luckily,
At least
Luckily.
long enough to get her ears covered up.
Long enough to get her hooded as well.
So I think we still should have a prioritized list of goals to get here. So if killing the warlock is one to stop these portals, that can be one. Reuniting with Morn's sister, saving the women could be two. Defeating this head orc that Captain Dickhole mentioned can be three, right? If we don't run into him, fine. If we do, great.
We have the advantage.
Dickhole.
I cannot remember his name. I just think it's important when we go in that we need to know what priority 1 is, 2 is, and 3 is. And they don't have to be the ones I just said. I just think that's something we all need to be clear on going in.
We have the advantage. They don't know where my sister is.
Yeah.
But, I think you're right. If they find her there, given what you said about her, she might not be very welcoming.
I'm surprised too. That's why I wouldn't want them to be out a part of the fight. It would be maybe not advantageous to wait until the battle is already going on and distractions and everything like that before trying to infiltrate and get to her.
I'm gonna let you guys decide on this one. I can't put an honest opinion forward.
It's hard to know.
I don't think we should wait too long, but wait until they mounted the attack, at least. That will draw enough of the population away from where we're trying to go. I think that will help us out.
Well, I think we want to be sneaking in at the same time the gates get opened, right?
Because then their eyes are on, but the fight has not really begun yet. So that might be the best time to sneak in.
I think it's a possibility too to actually go in before they storm the gate, so that we can, if we do run into your sister, we can say, hey, there's an attack coming on the city, and you won't be spared if the city falls. Right? We're here to help get you out.
But before the fight, they might be expecting people to sneak in. I'm sure they're going to be on high alert.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be
we're
tough
not-
to sneak to her.
We're not sneaking in. I'm dropping us right on in there.
Just me and you?
Remember? Yeah. And then everybody else might have an easier time too, because there's going to be distractions. So we should get there fairly quickly if I'm just dropping this in.
So we go in as soon as we start seeing the griffins? Teleport in?
Might be the best time.
This might work.
It could.
Like, it's our best shot, really. It's now or never.
So then that would mean we'd want to. If he's saying lunchtime, we're just gonna want to make sure we're a little ahead of them. But another important point would be, how do we get back out?
Well,
What
in a
if,
perfect,
We're relying on
What
the
if they-
commotion of the fight,
what if they fail and they don't get in?
hoping we're out before the fighting ends, regardless of who won.
yeah, and in a perfect world, the humans win, and we can just walk out the front door. If they don't, I don't know. Maybe we can. Well, I don't know.
I don't know.
Teleportation?
No, not for everybody.
What about the 3 people last time that got us out?
Yeah, the little. Yeah, how you got us out last time? Is that something you can do again?
Potentially. Have we? What's the rest situation like? I guess we rested once since then, right?
Oh yeah.
One long rest.
We're all rested
There's
up.
been there's a couple
Yeah.
long rests.
You rested before you took off this morning.
But just once, right?
Yes.
We too, because we had one the night before.
Well, yeah. You've rested. If you want to count that, yeah, you rested like twice. You've rested probably like
Okay.
3 times.
Then yeah, I could probably do that again. It'd be good to have a meetup point so that we know, right? But we all have to be together. Remember that it takes a minute to cast, and we all have to be grouped within range for a minute. So that that would be the tricky part of it. Once cast, I think escaping is easy.
Well, we may end up having to buy some time. I think we can do that. Got plenty of ways.
It's a potential escape plan. I mean, it's without knowing how the battle goes, it's hard to say what we'll have a chance to do. But if we all meet up and we have the time, we can do that. And if Morn Sister's a willing participant, she can be involved too.
So that's a good plan A. What about a plan B in case we can't get the conditions right?
I think plan B is we go out through the stream and we hope that there's enough casualties on both sides from the battle that, you know, it's cleared out enough to where we can make it to the stream and escape the city through there.
Right. If that fails, plan C is I slit my own throat so I don't get tied up like the rest of the women.
Yeah, I think if the humans fall into a trap and are all immediately slaughtered, we're just gonna be fucked.
So fully abandoned ship if that happens.
Is that a rooster?
That is a good question.
Not even he knows. Oh. So what are you guys doing?
I was just waiting until Frey got back. Oh, okay. I think we're gonna make our way to the camp that he had mentioned. That was closer down by the Dora camp. Probably spend the night there.
Where they're camping. Sorry, I might have missed something.
Does that make sense? Y'all agree?
I'm not sure we heard.
Oh, I was just saying we were gonna make our way to the human camp. Spend the night there.
Yeah. I guess.
I'm as comfortable and as safe as that might feel. The possibility of myself or either Andre or even Kaz potentially being found out would be probably very devastating to this whole plan.
You're right.
I mean, if we just like walked in and set up camp and went to sleep and left, it might be okay. But I don't
Are they gonna notice if we're not there?
know. Did they say we had to stay in the camp?
That's what he said. Well, I guess he didn't say we had to.
I knew that he. I guess I don't remember him saying that. Out of character, I actually don't remember if he said we were supposed to. We could stay in the camp.
So I mean, if we don't stay in the camp, we risk getting found by the Oryx. We're gonna be pretty close.
Yeah, we left that main camp. Remember, we were escorted out the front.
Right. But if we don't camp with their army, we risk.
You're talking about their other camp. That they
Yeah,
had
the
set up.
one right outside. Yeah. If we don't
And-
stay.
Just to refresh memories, they had set up another camp closer to the base, to the orc base. Yep,
Who?
the humans.
No.
Oh, I thought that's where their army was.
The army is fighting about 4 miles away from the city, and then
Okay.
and then behind that is the encampment for the high general. He said that yes, he said that they planned to push through the night to get as close as possible, and then a couple miles out they would set up, yes, a fob there, and then in the morning they would make their final push.
Okay, I guess I meant we would stay with that front push, but we don't have to.
They weren't expecting us to stay with their army, right?
No, they basically escorted you out of the encampment. He told
They basically
you,
said good luck.
yes, he said he told you good luck and to figure out whatever you could do to get into the city. If you could make a distraction, if you could open the gate, whatever you did, He basically said good luck. Like, we wouldn't kill you on sight, but people would question why the fuck you're in the city. Yeah.
Then if we're not staying with the humans, where are we gonna spend the night? There's not too many safe places around here. We were lucky to find a cave for.
I think we can set up a camp outside of their encampment, but not far away from it, right?
A little ways away, but in eye shot kind of thing.
Yeah.
Within range of their rangers.
With relative safety,
Yeah.
but also safe distance.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. Been a while since we slept under the stars.
Yeah.
It has. We've been stuck in caves. Or in inns. Agreed.
It's
All
getting
right.
to be about 8 o'clock at night, and you can hear the wars of the sound of war start to die down. As you notice, like riders above you beginning to swoop back towards the encampment, kind of to your farther to your right. You hear, people being brought back. You hear groans and the screams of people. You hear the march of the army, the sound of plate armor scraping against each other. Not necessarily. I mean, the sun's going down. It's hard to see your opponents. You can, you're assuming they've kind of retreated and gathered their dead or their injured and begun to slink their way back to their separate camps. Yeah. Shut up or I'll kill your character.
Empty
But,
threats.
I mean, I've done it once, I'll do it again. Maybe you guys can see kind of like a triage site to the south of the encampment where people are being brought to these white tents and being treated or whatever, healed. Kaylin, you're able to make out a couple of clerics or healers of some type within the ranks. You see them rushing from tent to tent.
We should probably make camp before it gets too dark. Unless everybody has other plans.
No, I think that's what we need.
I think that's good.
I'll pull out my tent.
Okay. You guys break ground and start to set up the tent and begin to set up for the night. How far away from the encampment are you guys going to be? Roughly.
Probably about the same distance away as we were when we met those rangers.
Yeah, like 300.
Several hundred feet. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we want to be far, but eye shot.
Okay.
At least in range of their scouts.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a good point. Do we have a community tent, or do we have individual tents?
We bought a big tent back.
No, that tent didn't last more than 4 hours. I don't know if you remember.
Oh no, it's destroyed.
Yeah,
Remember
that
the
was-
wolf
Yeah, that
encounter?
was set up.
Yep,
on
I forgot about that. So maybe we don't even. We might not even have a tent.
Okay, hold on. It was destroyed, but it has, 3 large holes in it? One to your left, one to the right, and one to the back?
Mhm.
And that's it.
Oh, so we got like patched it.
We
or
have a
whatever.
weaver.
Oh,
You have a weaver in training.
we can patch a hole. Come on. Okay, so this
I'm willing to
we,
give it a shot.
we haven't really had a chance to use our tent. We've been at inns or in cave, so it's like we forgot. That
Might
was a
have
long
few
time
holes in
ago.
it. It'll work for tonight. I'm not expecting any rain.
So,
Shotgun. All right, so we'll deal with the draft.
okay, so
Set up
Mr. Kalen, if you're going to try to make repairs on this, roll 3 separate checks.
That's what the party wants me to do.
If you could.
Ouch.
Very well. And of course, I'll have my assistant helping me.
Yep.
All right. Dexterity.
Wow, Henri.
Yes. As
That's hard.
As the zombie man grabs the tent and like pulls them together for you and like holds them in place.
All right. Wow. Okay, there we go. 19.
Okay,
8
so
and 4.
so the right and so if you're sitting in the tent and you're staring out the front flap, to your left and to your back, Kalen is just like, going at it and just like sewing it in, and he leaves and gets to the farthest right side and stitches that up as well. Steps back, sits down in the middle. This is over the course of like probably almost like an hour and a half, 2 hours of just like trying to stitch, and it looks good. You're pretty pleased with yourself, and you sit down and you're like, fuck yeah, that's really good. And to your right and to your front, when you're staring at the back of the tent, all of a sudden the stitching comes loose and rips open. The one to your left is the only one that holds in place. So
That'll have to do.
the one to the left, it's sealed really good. He did a really good job. You had the close stitches. You managed to tie it off at the bottom so it all holds together really nicely. But the one to the back and the one to the right, the stitching, you must not have made the knot just right at the bottom, or you missed a stitch or something happened and it all just kind of came loose.
Not exactly used to working on bigger projects.
Well, it's a work in progress.
I'll take a spot near the hole.
Yeah, I appreciate somebody can do something. At least you covered one of them.
Not expecting any rain tonight.
No.
See if we get some rest though. At least Friday night will be up early.
Yeah. Gotta get ready to experience the Banff. I don't know, Morn, you think you can handle it? Being teleported from one place to another instantaneously?
I think that's the easiest part of what we're about to do.
Yeah?
Much more worried about seeing my sister.
Morn, I was gonna give you something that I found, and I'll take out the whip that we got from in the cave, and I'll give it to him, and I'll say I don't really know that I would know how to use this, but if it comes down to having to take your sister against her will, this may help you grapple her. Hopefully it won't come to that, but you never know, so you're probably better off having it than me.
I'll grab it. Is there a tree nearby?
Yeah.
I'll go and try it out.
Okay. So, did I send you the stats for that? I feel like I did. Maybe.
Yeah, you sent them to me. here we go. So it's a +1 whip. You can pull an object within 20 feet of you. You can pull with a bonus action. Pull the target to you with a strength / athletics contest. So you can pull something towards you, or if it's something stationary, move yourself to the thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you anchor it to a post or something, you can swing towards it, or pull something that's within 20 feet towards you. And that would be as a bonus action, and then other than that, it's just a +1 whip, which isn't a super strong weapon, but it's fucking cool. So good flavor.
Are you whipping the tree? Always by reading.
Might want to use it on something other than a tree then.
Shit, use it on Andre.
I'll use it on Andre.
We're about to rest anyway, right?
Andre's the fuck. Excuse me?
Okay, remind me of those stats one more time. I'm gonna write them down.
Right
So
into
it's
that
just
shit,
a
bro.
whip +1.
Andre, I gotta hear you say that in your accent, though.
And then as a bonus action, you can pull something towards you if that has a range of 20 feet.
Excuse me. I'm not into that shit, bruh.
Perfect.
I'm gonna try it on like a light branch that's hanging from the tree.
Okay.
And attempt to break off the branch and pull it back.
Okay.
Guess I haven't set it up yet, so I'll just do this. 16 plus strength, and I believe I'm proficient, so that's 23.
Yeah, that hits.
And then I'll attempt as a bonus action to bring the branch back.
Okay. So I think it's like an athletics or strength contest.
Yeah, but what kind of strength is a tree branch is a limb gonna have?
3. You whip out and just like this loud crack, and you watch Morn just in one smooth jerk just takes a tree like a out-hanging low tree branch, grits the base of it, and just pulls back heavily, and you watch the entire tree branch just whip out and come right at you guys' face. More Indiana Jones? Oh god. The jokes.
Oof.
Oof.
Oh.
That's real bad. That was real bad.
And
That was
Good.
real bad.
you
like
should
it.
feel bad.
I like it.
You should feel awful.
How much damage does a whip do? Do you guys know?
I think it's 1d4.
That's what I thought.
It's okay, Andre, we can make a shirt. More Indiana Jones. Yeah, like, I feel like everybody would want a shirt that says more Indiana Jones on it. I'd be like, that's the next new fad.
I think so, yeah.
They'd be like, I don't know what more Indiana Jones means, but
I need to find myself a nice hat.
I need to wear it because I feel it's trendy. I'm putting it up on Kickstarter right now. commission to make more Indiana Jones t-shirts and make it worldwide. Need this to go viral, like now.
I'm just waiting. He whipped it and he pulled the branch back at him. So I just was waiting to see what Morin was going to do.
Oh, I'm gonna attempt to grab it, catch it.
Oh yeah, you just managed to snag it as it comes back at you.
I'll look at guys and be like, thanks. It could come in handy.
In a pinch,
Yeah.
might be a good thing to have. What's the range on that?
I was actually just looking up whip. I think it's a melee weapon, but it has reach, I believe. So that means it has an extra 5 feet. So that would put the range at 10 feet.
Yeah.
I don't know what the bonus action range is. I know that's 20 feet, but I don't know what difference that makes. I don't know if this is just like an extra long whip that has...
It's just an extra long whip.
Okay, so it has 20 feet range.
Yes.
That'll be nice then.
So as more Indiana Jones catches his branch and thanks the party, you guys begin to settle down into your tents unless you guys have something else you would like to do.
I haven't asked too much about it, but I think I need to know. What was my sister doing down there?
Maybe it would be better not to know.
Full moon on Ray.
It might be
Yeah.
hard. Might be hard to hear kind of what we found down there, and it really doesn't change anything. Do you
Well,
really want to
yeah.
know?
Will it be better to find out tomorrow?
I think we have to find out tomorrow.
We're gonna see her.
True.
I'm not sure we really know totally what she was doing.
We didn't see her for very long. What she specifically was doing.
I mean,
But,
any
her
any
surroundings.
yeah, any detail we shared would be a guess.
All we really know is it just looked like the area down there was used for some kind of horrific experimentations. We don't know if she's a part of that or not.
Okay.
Or if she plays some kind of part in any of that. We don't know.
Well, what about her? You said she was able to cast spells. You said she was controlled. I know for a fact she can't do that.
Well, if she's a half
like
elf,
me.
she's, it's innate. Magic is innate in her.
She's a fighter. I mean, she's
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think Morn had ever seen her cast anything.
No.
He had taught her how to fight and survive, but he had never seen her cast anything.
The innate magic in her must have been, I don't know, must have matured, or if she had some assistance in learning how to use it.
what can she do?
Ginger, I can't remember. She threw like a fireball at us, right?
Yeah, she cast a giant fucking fireball down an alley, or down like a little pathway at you guys.
I mean, she could throw fire kind of like Kaz does.
She tries to do that on us.
What was that?
If she tries to do that on us, what do we do?
Well, we try and subdue her as fast as possible. I guess we hope that she doesn't.
Hope not.
I don't really have any tricks for how to make her not if she decides to. I think it's just going to be a matter of trying to overpower her at that point.
It's possible that she draws some power from the warlock. Maybe killing the warlock will affect her in some way. I don't know.
That's very true.
It's just a guess.
So I hope that maybe seeing you will snap her out of it, or maybe she just didn't trust us to begin with, or didn't know who we were. Maybe that'll all change when she sees you. If not, hopefully, like Kaz said, maybe killing the warlock will change that.
Hope so. Look, it was hard enough for me to attack you guys before. Fighting my sister is going to be totally different.
I know, but we're not going to be fighting. Well, I mean, we will be. We're not going to be fighting her. We're going to be trying to subdue her so we can get her out.
Try my best to do what needs to be done. I'm just worried.
We got this. We've got a good plan together.
Point dwelling on it. I'll try and get some sleep. I'll go and take the spot that's by the hole in the tent. The left side had the hole. Right side had the hole. I'll take the right side.
Yes. Okay. So just so everybody can, like, so people that are watching the stream, Kaylin, you managed to sit down and you managed to quickly make 2 sets of shoes. Nice, halfway decent cloth shoes, just kind of more of like, kind of like slippers. You make like a half cap, just like a really basic, kind of like, almost like a sleeping cap. And then that takes about 30 to 45 minutes. And for the rest of your time, once you're like, you've got your fingers kind of like warmed up and kind of you're in the zone at that point, you begin to go back to your special project. You start stitching more into a shirt that you're kind of making.
Alright, very nice. Afterwards, I'll just go straight to sleep.
Okay. You guys just all laying
I'm
down
gonna
and
take a
sleeping?
watch.
Okay. Roll perception. Very nice. And I do believe Andre was sitting out doing a trance. So she's out there with you if you want to roll with advantage. Okay. So you sit out there for a couple hours and you kind of see the scouts coming and going and the rangers. Like, you just kept a glimpse of them every like 30 minutes or so. You see something like sleeking around off in the distance, kind of making their way around the camp, doing their patrols. You notice in the far off distance, almost like when you're like on the outskirts of a town and you start to get close to like a major city, how it just seems in the distance you can just see like the lights lighting up the sky. It's the same way if you look towards the general direction of Mugthal. You can just see like it's almost like it's lit up. But other than that, nothing else catches your attention.
So you said I noticed that the camp it's like lit up.
Like the city, like Mugthal, in the general direction you can't see it, but you can kind of make out the general direction. Like you're like, okay, yeah, it's definitely where Mugthal is.
Got it. Okay. So after taking partial watch, did anybody else want to take a watch, or should I just go to? Nobody said anything.
I can do the second watch.
Okay, so I'll go in and I'll wake up Kaz.
Okay.
And I'll post at the back of the tent.
Oh, and actually, before I went to sleep, I probably, since my fucking guy doesn't need to sleep or eat or drink, I probably would have told him to stand outside and just wake me up if any foreign entity gets too close to us.
Sounds good. So all of you guys can roll with advantage.
Nice.
Since you guys have somebody that's just kind of standing out there. So,
Nice.
Kaz with the amazing perception rolls. As you sit out there and you continue to watch, like 3 feet from you, like not 3 feet from you, but like 5 to 10 feet from you, just like every like couple of minutes, this just like half dead, undead orc type person, just like turns towards you and just like and then like looks off into the distance in the opposite direction and does like a circle, and then like 5 minutes later like comes back and like looks at you again, and then just keeps looking around in a circle. This goes on for like a couple hours, like 1 or 2
It's
hours
trying
or so.
to communicate. It's so cute.
Correct. I mean, basically on, right? It's basically, yeah. It's just like a,
I'll just pat him on the back every now and then. Good job, buddy. You're doing great.
That'll do, pig.
But this goes on for a couple hours, and you don't notice anything. Nothing catches your eye.
Bruh.
You kind of catch the same thing that Freya was catching. You just see like every like 30 minutes or 20 minutes or so, you see kind of the scouts off in the distance moving along the outskirts of the town, or the kind of the base of operations. And your watch begins to come to an end. It's probably around like 2 a.m., 1 a.m.
Okay. Did we have a third?
I think Andre is going to take it. Yeah. Andre.
No, because Andre only does like half of the night anyway.
Yeah, only 4 hours.
Fucking weirdo. Roll perception with advantage. You full elf person. You only gotta meditate for 4 hours. Ooh, with that advantage, saved you. So as you sit there, a large black no, I'm just kidding.
Oh shit!
Time to end it all, big boys. You sit there, kind of the same thing as Kaz. Every like 10 minutes or so, this zombie just does this circle next to you and just like looks out in the distance. About every 20 or 30 minutes, you see the scout patrols in the distance moving around, and then around, I would say around 4 a.m. the entire camp just starts to, like 3:30, 4 a.m. just starts to wake up. Like the entire like city encampment, and you can just hear the donning of armor, people getting ready for war. You can hear the griffins beginning to wake up and the large like screeching and hawking as they're being fed their breakfast. You get the feeling they're getting ready. Everybody's kind of waking up for an early morning assault.
I'm sure that I wasn't sleeping very well, so I will, at that point, when I hear everyone else, I'll wake up and probably go outside. Maybe I'll practice with the whip, just keep my mind off things.
So every like minute or two, you just hear like a just Morn just out back cracking whips. Okay.
Well, that's a good sound to wake up to in the morning.
Whip it. Whip it good. Bum, ba-na-na-na-na. Do the whip it. No? Okay, sounds good.
You must whip it.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. That's all I asked for.
Maybe I'll sharpen my great axe at some point too.
Okay. It's probably around 4:30 in the morning, and most of the army in the army in the distance is beginning to wake up. Yes, alright, they are mustering early as fuck.
He says like 4:30 and everybody's starting to move out.
Not move out, but they're suiting up, getting ready. They're eating. They've got armor on. The griffins have been woken up. They're feeding them. You can hear them kind of hawking and screeching. You can hear, the sounds. You can hear like people talking and orders being given. So, those of you that are awake.
I'm probably awake with the sound of cracking of a whip.
Yep. It's like every 2 or 3 minutes. About another hour goes by and you hear the instep of army movement, and
I'm gonna kind of keep my eyes out for griffins.
about 5 minutes after that you see there are 3 squads of 4 just take off one after another.
Okay, as soon as that happens, I'm gonna go in the tent. Be like, everyone, the griffins are taking off. This might be our time to make our way forward.
Alright, let's tear down then.
Let's get started.
Okay. You guys begin to tear down camp. Get everything ready. You guys are packing up your equipment. Everybody's getting into place. Takes you guys about 30 minutes or so to break camp. The encampment next to you has been about 90% broke down. People are moving out. You see actually 2 different trebuchets that seem to have gotten built almost overnight are being pushed towards the city.
How far ahead of the griffins does it look like they're actually making their way toward the camp?
You don't even see the griffins anymore.
Okay.
You don't see the griffins, you don't see the trebuchets, and you hear the army marching in the distance, but you don't see him anymore. It's about 5:36 in the morning now.
We better probably start making some ground then. We don't want to be too far behind them.
Indeed.
Freya and I run up ahead.
Yeah, we probably better.
We don't want to be late.
Yep, because we have a very limited window.
Freya, you and Cash should work out a spot. I don't know the inside very well, but we should know where we're gonna meet them. We might be needing Cash to get out.
Right outside the Warlock's tent? Or right out, you mean outside of the encampment?
Either way.
The city?
Either way.
I don't have a way to get out of the city once we get in.
So then I'd say inside.
I'm hoping that you guys can all get in, so...
Yeah, I think right outside the Warlock's tent.
Yeah, we all know where that is then. Okay.
Or potentially inside of it.
Either way.
Yeah.
See you on the inside then?
See you guys on the inside. Good
See
luck.
you
Yeah.
guys on the inside.
Make haste. Be stealthy.
I guess I'll I'm guessing we should take off at a run then. We're kind of already behind.
Okay.
All right.
Yep. Henri flips her hood up. Takes
Yeah,
off.
hood's up.
Okay. You guys take off at your runs. Those of you that are trying to catch up with the main army.
I think it's just Morn and I, because we're trying to vamp in before there's too much chaos.
Okay. So you knew that you were a couple miles out. So the army left a good solid 45 minutes to an hour ahead of you, so they're quite a ways ahead. But in a dead sprint, it takes you about 35 minutes to catch up. And at that point they're like full in combat, locked right outside as you come up upon the orc city. The the human army is actually posted up in the smaller towns around it. It has trebuchets in some of the smaller towns that are firing and launching equipment up and out. And then on top of that, you notice that they're actually up against the wall of the city, they have ladders that they're trying to get up and on top. They're trying to get them up over. You see fighting happening along the tops of the city. You see humans being flung up over the side. You see giant ogres that are standing on the tops of the walls, just hucking large boulders up over the side. Arrows that are going back and forth. You see these foreign to you, and it's just you two that are seeing it. Almost like two separate lines of these humans, and they're one of the group in front is on their knees, where the one behind is standing up, and then you see somebody next to them wave his hand down, and in almost unison you hear quack, 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 like the unison sound of like firearms just being shot up into the side of this, into the wall and up over the top of this, and you see probably I would say like 8 or 9 orcs, 2 or 3 goblins, and 1 ogre just get like pelted with whatever it happened that came out of these smooth rod looking things, and you see them all like fall over the side of the wall. The ogre just like riddles with hole and like a bunch of blood and just falls back over the side. And then you see them kind of take a step back. He yells a command. And you just see them like loading their weapon or doing something, and they're loading into them. Yeah, exactly. It's just like boom, 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 and there's like big puff of pillow of smoke, and then they take steps back. As you see the wyvern riders from the orc city and the griffins are swooping onto each other, and they're actually fighting mid combat. The front gates have not been opened at this point.
I'm actually trying to find anything I'm close to Cape. Oh, I don't remember the range.
500 feet.
So where would we need to be?
No, Henri, you have not. This is the first time you've actually seen these before. Like, this is completely foreign to you. You have no idea what they are. You've never even, Jupiter has never even heard of them before, nor have they actually even seen these.
Where would we need to be in order to vamp right inside of the warlock tent?
I mean, 500 feet outside of the wall,
Yeah.
roughly.
So would it be like right up against the wall? I mean, getting a gauge from how
Oh,
far.
I see what you mean. I would say the warlock's tent is probably about 200 to 300 feet off of the main wall. So if you get within that, you should be able to. But you got to remember, there's people that are up on top of that wall right now that are firing over the side of that. So you have to get within 300 feet-ish of that main wall, 250, 300 feet.
So we're gonna be like in the line of fire.
Possibly.
Um.
Yeah, Henri. it was pretty wild to you to watch this ogre literally just get pelted, and like the entire face, body, chest, just like riddled with a bunch of red holes, and then fall over the side. Well, no, you wouldn't have seen that because you weren't with the group, were you? Are you with Freya and Morn? No, so you wouldn't have seen that. It would have been just Morn and Freya.
So I at this point I'm hoping that we can in some way blend in with troops to get where I would know.
The Warlock tent is here, obviously. The main battle is happening here.
So I don't know how your I don't know how your teleportation thing works. How close do we need to get for you to get us all the way to inside the tent?
Got to get up alongside the wall. I know where it is in correspondence to the wall up ahead, but we're gonna have to break off from the main fighting at the front.
Can I look in that direction and see, is there any cover, or is this just a wide open field?
Wide open fields.
Wide open.
Remember, it's like 150 feet, 200 feet off of the main fence, like 200. Yeah, it's like 200 feet off the main fence. It was almost like an open field that had spikes with human bodies like piked on them around the whole city.
You could be right off of that and still be within range, though.
You could get close, but you're gonna get fired at if they see you. If they see you.
Up at the wall, kind of in the direction that I know we need to go, and it's you said it's lined with orcs shooting.
Yep. On that side, I would say there's probably about 4 right now. Most of them are congregated here towards the main entrance where the main battle is going on.
So we don't need to get close until we're right about where I know we need to get close. We can stay off and run around. But to approach, we're gonna need to be stealthy. And I'm trying to figure out if I want to use Pass Without a Trace, because then I'm not going to be able to use it again later.
I think we need it once we get inside. Fewer arrows aren't gonna take us out.
That's true. They won't know really where we go, even if we don't pass them very well with stealth.
And there's a lot going on. I'm not sure they're gonna worry about 2 people that look like deserters right now.
Let's try and stealthily approach the wall 500 feet from where I know I need to be inside.
Okay.
You know the spot. Follow you. Uh-oh. Oh, shit. That's disgusting.
So,
I had a feeling that I wanted to use Pass Without a Trace because
I'm not even sure.
As you guys begin to get low, you come out of the smaller town that's on that side of the wall. And as you guys come in, you start to make your way on the outside, and all of a sudden you notice this side of the that oil field or that open field where they piked in all these human bodies is a lot thicker than you anticipated. And it's almost like knee-deep muck and like mud and gore and whatever. And Freya, you start to run through it, and your foot catches something, and you just like biff it straight into whatever this is, and you start to actually get stuck, and you're having a hard time moving forward, and you're like stationary. Morn, you go to help her, and you step in kind of the same deep spot, and you begin to have issues as well. As the 3 archers notice you, definitely notice you, they all simultaneously look over the side of the gate, and you hear, "What the? Grub!" And they like immediately turn and let loose 3 arrows. 2, 18, and a 17. They're gonna fire at 1 at Freya and 2 at Morn. So the
Which
one
ones
that
they-
the first one they fire at Morn is the 2, and it goes wide right over the top of Morn, and you notice it right away, and you're like, oh fuck, they're firing. The second one is a 17.
Yeah, it is.
That one hits.
Yep.
So that is a 5 points of damage as it hits you kind of like in the shoulder blade. And then the other one was a 16, I believe. Or no, that was an 18.
We had 18 and 17.
Yep. So then that one is... Ooh. That one's 8 points of damage as that one kind of hits you in the thigh as you're trying to get yourself out of the muck.
You okay? How close are we?
I'm alright. I think we need to get a little closer.
You need probably about 40 feet. So they might get off one more shot.
Okay, I'm gonna rage at this point and attempt to throw Freya out of this mud pit. Forward.
Okay, so make a strength check. You're gonna have to be a 12.
Nope.
We are failing.
You are pulling, and for some reason, whatever this mud is, or this muck, or whatever, is just... They must have, like, dumped oil or something on it, and you are just having a hard time getting her loose. She budges a little bit, but not enough for you to move. And they're gonna let loose.
Stuck? I'm stuck then? It's not just like I'm moving slowly, it's like being actually stuck.
Like you're like with a natural 1, you're stuck. Like you are like knee deep, and you are like your boots and your feet you're stuck.
Okay, at a minimum, I'm gonna at least try and shield her.
Okay, so 13 at you.
That misses.
Freya 6, and Freya 14. 6 and 14, Freya?
Yes.
Okay, so you're pulling on her, and you're kind of trying to like widen up your shoulders, and you take the brunt, and you just 3 arrows land next to you again. Okay, so you got another action before they fire again.
How close am I to the edge of this pit? Can I see? Or is this even a...
Well, no, it's just open fields.
Oh, okay.
But you must have stepped in a deep spot or something. You're not sure. So
basically, not out of it, but we need to get at least 40 feet closer to the wall.
Okay, well, at this point, I'm going to kind of move to the other side of her and step forward and pull her.
Okay,
the
so
opposite side.
roll with advantage because she's going to try and help you this time.
Well, I have advantage because I'm raging.
Okay, well then roll with advantage.
Doesn't... been helping. Okay, there we go.
Alright, 18 definitely does it. You manage to just wedge her up, and you guys are kind of laying on top, and you manage to move about 5 feet as you pull her out and kind of get her up on top of whatever this muck is. They're going to make 3 more shots. This one's at 13 for Morn.
No.
16 for Morn.
Yes, that hits.
Okay. Night ping. That are big guy. Don't worry, we're basically going to end in like 10 minutes anyways, man. So,
Night.
deuces, dude. We'll see you next sesh.
Alright.
Love you. So that one hits. So that one is 8 points of damage. As one of the arrows misses and the other one hits you kind of like a lower calf. And then this one will be at Freya. That's a 9. Man, my rolls are absolute garbage. So you just feel like a and then another one like comes and hits you right in the calf. Okay, you got another movement. You guys are up on top of whatever this muck is, and you're able to move. It's hard moving. You're about half your speed, but you're able to start moving again. You need probably around 50 feet to get to a distance where you guys can bamf in.
Alright, are you able to walk?
Yep, I can move. Keep going.
Okay, then I'll, I guess, double dash as far as I can.
Okay, so you're able to get within range. Freya?
I don't think I have double dash, actually.
Well, I just meant like
you just use your action, and you double dash.
Yeah.
So you're both able to get within distance as they notch arrows again to fire.
So we're in distance now?
You're right in distance as they go to fire. They're letting loose 3 arrows.
Grab a hold of Morn, and I'm gonna bamf in.
Okay. You're just like, and you feel like the suction of cold, and all of a sudden, you open your eyes and you're on the other side. Where did you want to land?
I was right inside the warlock tent.
Right
I think it was
inside.
I was in the basement, right? Guess we should have made sure. I was thinking the basement.
We were going inside the tent. You said the tent was
Okay.
200 feet from the wall.
Yes. So you land directly in the center of the tent. It is
Yeah.
it's kind of dark. The incense are burning, but you're inside.
And then I remember where or how to get down there, right? Yeah, because last time it was covered. Is it still covered?
Yeah. Kind of. Yeah. Yeah. It is.
I'm gonna look around. Do I notice does it feel like there's anybody in here? Or do I notice that it sounds or seems like there's somebody in?
Make a. So, are you looking to see if there's anybody in here or whatever you're looking for, or are you
Yeah.
actually feeling?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like looking around, does it look like or
Okay,
seem
so
like
make
there's
a perception check.
And I'm assuming I'm looking too.
Okay, so make one of you guys either make it with advantage or one with, or each separately.
Yours is-
maybe.
Yours is higher than mine, so you can do it with advantage.
I was worried about that. I was like, oh, maybe you should.
As far as you can tell, nobody's been down here. Nobody's in here now.
And I'm gonna approach where the opening is to his little secret corridor.
It's about
And-
5 feet to your right, just under a little rug.
I'm gonna move the rug and I can't remember. Is there like a door on it, or is there a
It's
latch?
like just like a little hatch, like a little pull-up hatch.
Before I open, I'm gonna look back at Morn and be like, "Are you ready?"
I'll take a big deep breath. Be like, let's go.
All right. I'm gonna also take a deep breath and open it up and head in.
You guys start to descend down this staircase to this lower level. Familiar to you, Freya. It continues on down a corridor, and directly to your left is a door into another room, and
Yep.
then to your right and to your left, all the way down this corridor, you see like these separate little doors in these rooms.
And then remembering, I'm gonna also turn to Morn and also say that try and keep your eyes forward. Try not to look inside any of these rooms if you can help it.
I'll look right in her eyes and just nod my head.
I'm gonna head forward towards the area that I remember seeing her last time, and the area at the end.
You guys start to slowly make your way down the hallway. To your right and to your left, Morn, there's doors. Some of them are just doors, and then some of them are open doorways with like little porticles and like windows in them, and then some of them are just like chain doors, like barred doors.
I would probably like slowly glance at one of the cages.
Okay.
Do I see anything inside?
There's nothing inside. There seems to be like a bed and some chains that are laying there, but nothing in.
Okay, I'd probably keep looking in them then.
Okay.
Until I see something. If I see something.
Kind of Freya just keeps looking ahead and to your right and to your left. You start looking into the doors that have openings that you can see into them, and you're not seeing anything.
Okay.
Did the polar opposite of what I told him not to do.
About 30 feet in front of you, Freya, is that opening, that open circular room with that kind of like that bed, or not that bed, but like almost like that surgical table in the center of it.
There's nobody in there.
Huh? No,
Uh,
at the far end, no. Make a perception
Anybody?
check. Okay. About 15 to 10 feet from that room, As you squint your eyes and you look really, really close, it's dim light, so you're having a hard time seeing. But with your dark vision, you're able to see to the end of the hallway. And you notice at the very end of the hallway is a hand holding an orb, staring at you. And there's an eye slit, and an eye turns and focuses on you. And you hear in the back of your mind, "So you've come again. This'll be the last time." And you, if there was somebody there, you could swear there's a chuckle. And all of a sudden there's a flash of light. And everything around you guys starts to explode.
As a flash of light and everything starts to
Explodes.
Now I'm confused. It was just the pedestal, like the hand thing holding the orb? Like just
Yeah.
it was suspended in the air?
No, it was sitting on the little surgical table.
But it was in the room last time.
What's that?
In that room last time. The room area at the base of the stairs.
Yeah, it was.
So now it's sitting on the surgical table?
Mm-hmm.
That's stupid.
We need to run. I'm gonna run back down the corridor, grabbing Freya's arm to make sure she runs with me.
As you guys are taking off at a dead sprint and everything begins to explode and you feel the fire and everything over you, you feel like the force knocking you from side to side. You guys take 35 points of fire damage.
Oh shit!
God damn!
As you guys get to the end of this tunnel and you manage to get to the end, you like, it almost like throws you up out of the hatch. It throws you up on the other side, and you are like half on fire, half not, half burned, bloodied, and just below you is, when you look back into the hatch, it's just fire.
$35? Fuck! Not good. So we're just running out?
You
Does
guys
it
are literally, like, you
floating
guys
like
are...
outside once we're up the stairs?
No. As you guys
It's
are out, and like laying next to the hatch, it's just fire below in the hatch. On the opposite side, nothing. The ground does feel warm below you, but that's it.
So we close the hatch behind us then.
You close the hatch and it literally looks like nothing happened.
Wait, so as in, if I were to open the hatch, it's gonna look like nothing happened in there?
No, it's still fire down there.
Oh, I thought, okay, you just mean like close the hatch and everything's fine. Okay.
Yeah.
She knew we were coming.
Or he knew we were coming. What do we do?
And I take that back. It's 31 points. Not that I
Oh,
mentioned
much better.
points.
I mean, thanks for the extra, the extra couple points. I'm still like almost dead. Fuck.
Yeah, I might as well. I'm in a second wind at this point. So that's
I'm also gonna second wind.
nice. Nailed it.
Just to ask, do you guys not have any healing potions? I'm pretty sure you did.
No, I'm out.
I'm out.
Okay, no.
I didn't
You...
Second wind.
It's D10 plus fighter.
That's a yikes from me.
Oh, what? I need to click that. D10 plus what?
Plus
your
fighter level.
So, 1 or 2? So roll a d10 plus whatever your fighter level is.
How many you dipped?
Yep. So 4
Okay,
plus...
got it. For your
probably-
level, your actual level. Got it. Okay.
So probably like 5 or 6.
Yes, I get like a total of 7.
It happens. So as you guys make your way on the other side of this hatch, this fiery inferno almost taking you.
Wow.
I have to re-roll. I fucked up. You guys might be alright. I did D10s. Did not mean to do that. 5, 6, 7.
Well, I don't remember what I was
It's
at.
gonna end up worse.
I was gonna say, I might roll better.
Gonna roll all sixes.
Okay, or I'm not gonna roll dice. It says rolling dice, not doing anything. Cool. Okay, I guess we'll do it again.
Just don't take damage. Let me add that 31.
Okay, I'm just
Yeah.
gonna...
If you can't roll the damage, then I guess it don't take damage.
That's what I'm saying.
I like it.
Okay, do you want to die next, Kaylin?
I'm still waiting to see what the secondary strike team is doing.
There it is. Okay, so 1. So, oh, now it rolls as I start my fucking rolls. Okay, so
It's worse. It's worse. It's fucking worse.
oh, this is 32, 1, 2, 3, 3, 4. Okay, so I have a 34 and a 44. So I'm gonna take the lesser of the two, and I'll do 28, 29, 30, 1, 2, 3. So 34 points. Yeah, the other one was just, it was way worse. That one rolled really well. So 34 points.
I'm glad you caught your mistake.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But as you close the hatch below you, the inferno seems to placate and calm as you both lay there on your backs, just singed. That's where we'll end our night.
Shit.